Racing in the Guineas now, and Costa de Lago first out off gate number 2, bounced in front. West Point and Dibbles Dane travelling forward now. Further out is Tarnpur Lane, starting to be hunted towards the front when they settle down. It'll go to the front, Tarnpur Lane, when they go along the back and get out with a good break, about 3 lengths West Point, Dibbles Dane. And Costa de Lago went back to 4th now from Portland Player, 5th, one further back into Gaze. Then Anthem's back on the inside now of Alpha as they go to the top of the hill. A nice pace in front, Tarnpur Lane out 2.5 in front of West Point. 1.5 Portland Player on the inside there of Dibbles Dane. 3/4 further back running 5th in Costa de Lago. 3 to Winter Gaze, 2 to Anthems and a half, then to Alpha last of all. Down the side, 1,000 out in the Guineas and the leader Tarnpur Lane, 1.25 lengths in front. Now a length 2 on the outside, West Point. Dibbles Dane 3 out, followed by in Costa de Lago back in the centre. Portland Player the rail. 2 to Winter Gaze, a half then to Anthems. 1 further back, Alpha last of all. 6.50 out. And Tarnpur Lane about a neck in front of West Point. Dye looking over his shoulder, a length further back, Dibbles Dane. Portland Player back on the inside, and Costa de Lago takes up the slack now. Pushes through to be 3rd before the turn. 2 to Winter Gaze, Anthems and Alpha last of all. Around the turn, 4.50 out. Tarnpur Lane straightened a length in front of West Point. Called on now in Costa de Lago and getting off the fence. Portland Player bumping with West Point. The favourite under pressure now, where Portland Player and Costa de Lago reach the front. Here's Winter Gaze coming with a run in Costa de Lago just in front of West Point. Winter Gaze and Alpha with a run. The favourite's in trouble. Winter Gaze has hit the front. Alpha going to Winter Gaze. Alpha Winter Gaze down to the line, and Alpha. Alpha's won the Guineas ahead into Gaze, and Costa de Lago weakened to run 3rd. Then Anthems from Portland Player. West Point, Tarnpur Lane and a long gap, then to Dibbles Dane last of all.
Number 4 Alpha, 11.90 and 2.20. 3 Intergaze, 1.90. 2 in Costa de Lago, 1.10.
4 Alpha Super Tab, $8, 180. 3 Intergaze to return 2.50, and 2 in Costa de Lago, 1.10.
Number 4, Alpha is home in the Guineas. Number 4 Alpha has swamped them, came within a gaze, and Alpha has tipped out into Gaze in the run of the post within Costa de Lago into 3rd placing, and number 4 goes in the frame. Number 4 Alpha, 11 starts for 9 wins. What a triumph for Tasmania. Tasmanian bred by Barry Ladder, by El Moxie from Spinning Reel. Bred in Tasmania by Woodland Park Stud, trained by the man Bart Cummings. And Alpha's come from the back of the field, back last at the 8.50, and has finished over the top with them with Intergaze. In Costa de Lago enjoyed a good run. He went up to join them when they...
Right, openers race 5.
Okay, this is Triple SFM, the Good Sports.
Portland Player. And then the runs came. Alpha on the outside with Intergaze. They came hard. Behind those was Anthems. And it was Alpha just finishing it off best in the run of the post. 4, 3 and 2 in the Guineas. 4, 3, 2 Alpha. Number 3 Intergaze and number 2 in Costa de Lago. A disappointing run from what we expected here over the last 400 metres, but Alpha too good. Did his racing in Tassie, came over here as a 2-year-old, went back to Tassie and has come back to run in the Ascot Vale and McDonald, and now the Concept Sport last week. And Bart has produced this horse, and Rodney Griffiths bouncing back at Group 1 level. And the numbers there are in the frame. We'll have totes in a moment. 4, 3 and 2, 4, 3, 2. Mobiletronics taking you to the mounting yard, and Brian Blackmore.
Right, thank you very much, Brian. Bart Cummings with us. Congratulations, Bart. Just another Group 1er. But that was a terrific win, wasn't it?
Well, this is a very special Group 1, and it was a very good win.
Well, the horse just put up a phenomenal staying performance because the pace was on. It was way back, and yet it's finished over the top of them.
Well, the pace being genuine, I think that fell into his hands a bit. It made it easy for him because ridden back's the right way to ride him, and he gets the line very well. So it was a pretty good effort.
What did you think when the slick horses, the West Points and Costas were up in front of you and you were giving it a start?
I was cheering them on. Keep going.
Congratulations, well done, Bart.
Good, thank you.
There's Bart Cummings talking with Brian Blackmore in the mounting yard at...
They're off and running in the Toorak handicap now, and they jumped in a good line. Poetic King first out from Sabre Suit and Catalan opening. From the outside, Brackenbury, and going forward, Red Rhythm. Back in the centre, Scenic Royale was Zuccarino. And around the outside is Matsky when they sort themselves out. And Darvas and Country Lane have gone back to the rear. 4 or 5 in line here. Sabre Suit, Poetic King, and Brackenbury up on the outside is caught deep. He'll push forward now up towards the front. Brackenbury led by a half Sabre Suit. Poetic King went off the fence 3rd. 4th, Red Rhythm, followed by Catalan Catalan Opening. 2 further back, Matsqui wide around Scenic Royale. Shame the fence from Sir Boom and Zuccarino. 2 to Lock Ray, simple as that. Further back then came Abramagic. 2 lengths to Seascape. 3 further back then Country Lane and Darbass last of all. Down the side at the 850 metre mark, Catalan Opening goes up outside Brackenbury. Matsqui can't get on the track, deep around Poetic King. Sober Suit the fence, Sir Boom up in the middle. Red Rhythm losing ground from Scenic Royale. Zuccarino further back the outside, Zuccarino. Then Abramagic, Shame, Lock Ray. Something's gone wrong with Red Rhythm. It's dropped right out from Seascape, simple as that, and Darbass back second last. Up to the bend they race now, and Matsqui has been wide but travels to Catalan Opening and Brackenbury, and they're followed by Sir Boom. Behind them, Poetic King trying to get out, so Sober Suit as they wheel for home. In the Toorak now, they straightened up, and on the outside, Matsqui with Catalan Opening. Poetic King into the clear now, followed by Sober Suit. Then Scenic Royale and Shame is trying to get out. Brackenbury back on the rail. They're across the track. Poetic King in the centre. Hit the lead now from on the inside, Brackenbury. Scenic Royale and Shame are late down the outside. Poetic King in front. And Poetic King, yes, Poetic King gets home in the Toorak a half length. Photo the miners, Shame the centre. Scenic Royale the outside and Brackenbury back on the fence. 3 of them there for the miners. Then Catalan Opening followed by Matsqui. Sober Suit, simple as that, Sir Boom. Lock Ray followed by Seascape, Country Lane. Well back Darbass with Abramagic, Zuccarino, and Red Rhythm just cantering down towards the line, was gone about 1,000 from home. Something's gone amiss with the horse.
2 Poetic King, $5, 2.10. 6 Shame in a Photo, 3.80. 10 Scenic Royale, 2.80, or 17 Brackenbury, 7.60.
2 Poetic King, $5, 2.10. Those for the miners. 6 Shame, 4.30. Number 10 Scenic Royale, 3.20. 17 Brackenbury, $5.
3 or 4. Oh, he's collapsed on the track here, this horse, Red Rhythm. He's collapsed about 30 metres past the line here. Obviously something amiss with the horse, which is tragic for Connections. He started to drop out about 1,200 from home. And sadly, this horse has collapsed about 30 metres past the post. Connections, James Conlon, trainer, jockey, has cleared his way from the horse's back. That's Michael Pritchard, but a sad sight. Number 2 was the winner, number 2, Poetic King. The Freedmans have done it with Simon Marshall. He saved the horse all the way, got a lovely run in transit, came out to challenge in the home straight. And this game little galloper, he's all heart and he's got home. The judge having a good look at this print, try to sort them out for the minors. Scenic Royale, and he's called for another print.
We'll come back for the result. Race 6, Melbourne.
Okay, this is Triple S, the Good Sports, and we'll get some more from Melbourne in just a moment. In fact, here's Brian again.
Number 6. Beautiful ride by Marshall, saved the horse all the way. And the judge poring over this print to separate 3 of them here for the minor placings. And we're just waiting on that number to come down. 135.88, 135.88. That's the first running of that race on this all-new track here at Caulfield. Still no minor placing, still no minor. And the winner here, Poetic King, he's had 29 starts for 13 wins. Put the writing on the wall on the Rupert Steele with his big weight on the heavy track last Saturday. Beaten in this race a half length in record time in 94. And Lee Freedman has made the comment a couple of times recently that the horse is going just as well as ever. And Simon Marshall rode the horse magnificently. And it's a triumph again for Share Racing if you go back through Vern Rayner, the man who put the package together with this horse for Classic Bloodstock, and this gives them probably their biggest win ever. The horse has since been sold on to Dado Tan Hock Chong and Al Wong and C.G. Lloyd by Yates from Holbrook Brett. He's a 6-year-old. He's had the 13 wins from 29 starts, and first prize takes him up to $835,000 in prize money.
Okay, we'll leave Brian there. We'll stand
2 here on track. Juggler at up. They're off and running now. Cheviot down on the inside and Crying Game, and Magnet Bay bounced away okay from the outside with Valence going forward in the centre. Beedman's taken hold of Octagonal. He goes back to second last with Peep on the Sly at Arctic Set as Magnet Bay comes from the outside, leads a length now to Crying Game and Valence third. Juggler's 3 deep early. He has to go forward on Juggler now. They were crawling in front and he's up outside the lead when they go up the back straight now. The leader Magnet Bay a half in front of Juggler second, Crying Game third. Fourth on the outside would have been 13 Valence, 1 then to Cheviot, 3/4 then to Station Hand. They're not going hard as they go along to the 1400 now. Then came further back Peep on the Sly with Octagonal and Arctic Centre's outside it. At the back they race 12.50 to go, and the leader on the inside here is Magnet Bay, nearly a length in front of Juggler, 2 to Crying Game, a length further back Valence, then Cheviot running 5th, 1.5 Station Hand, 1 further back Peep on the Sly, and then Octagonal and Arctic Cent caught a little deep on the outside last of all. They've gone to the top of the hill, running down towards the 1,050 metre mark now, and the leader still is Magnet Bay, a half in front of Juggler, and Crying Game, the first one to hook out with a slow pace, a length into Station Hand at the 950 metre mark, further back Cheviot, then Arctic Cent followed by Octagonal, then Valence, and last of all is Peep on the Sly. Down the side, 800 metres to go, and on the outside Crying Game goes up to Magnet Bay, 1.5 further back Juggler, travelling okay third, then Station Hand fourth, then Cheviot further back in the race, then Arctic Cent around Valence, Octagonal last of the main bunch, about 4 or 5 lengths off them, but pulled to the outside, and 3 lengths to Peep on the Sly. At the 550 metre mark they race Station Hand, Juggler are going quickly to Crying Game, and Magnet Bay a length further back the mare Arctic Cent, tagging it home as Octagonal when they turn into the straight they race, and Juggler hit the front now from Magnet Bay, Station Hand and Octagonal coming down the outside. He's laying in and bumping with Arctic Cent, but Juggler's pinched the break at the 150. He's speared away, Juggler today. He's 4 in front now from Magnet Bay. Octagonal can't get up from there, but Juggler a mile too good, and Juggler wins the Caulfield Stakes, wins easily about 4 lengths. Magnet Bay second, a photo for the miners. It might go. Peep on the Sly, a nose in front of Octagonal, then a gap in the race to Crying Game, Station Hand followed by Valence, Arctic Cent, and near the tail is Cheviot.
And the winner, number 1, Juggler, 230, 120, 3 Magnet Bay, 470, 7 Peep on the Sly, 230.
1 Juggler, 240, 130. Number 3, Magnet Bay to return, 480, and 7 for third Peep on the Sly, 220.
Number 1, Far Too Good, went forward with a dawdling pace here, King, summed the situation up early. Always had the horse in the firing line, speared away on the turn and put a gap on them. Second, Magnet Bay, battled on very well after leading. And the judge calling for the photo for the third. I think Peep on the Sly is going to make it very interesting here with Octagonal for third placing. Judge calling on the print for the third placing. But Juggler, the vastly improved Juggler, has cantered home here in the Caulfield Stakes. Number 7 has grabbed third. Number 7, Peep on the Sly, so he's knocked Octagonal out of the placings. Numbers here after the Caulfield Stakes are 1, 3 and 7. 1, 3, 7, no pace early.
Just ahead of Kembla.
And spearing away, great turn of foot this horse. And look out Cox Plate, because that's where he's going now. A fortnight from today, it's the Cox Plate for this horse, Juggler. And that's where you'll have the match up again with Falante. He beat Falante in the George Main. Falante was awesome in the Epsom last Saturday, and Juggler will be looking for him again. Numbers in the frame, 1, 3 and 7. Magnet Bay second. And third, 7, Peep on the Sly, a clear last of the 600. That was an eye catcher for the Caulfield Cup, Peep on the Sly. He rattled home, but this horse has won in a common canter. The Victorian bred Juggler, horse of the year, the Davis horse of the year for last season. He's had 30 starts for 13 wins, and it had been ecstatic Gay Waterhouse. This is the horse they said had to have a veterinary inspection when it arrived on track. And Higgs made the comment, wouldn't make any difference, he was jumping out of his skin. Here's Go Brian with the compliments of Noble-Tronics.
Right, thanks for...
Okay, look, Will.
Okay, this is Triple S, the Good Sports, and we'll go back there if we...
The gates are back and they're off and running now. Quick Ransom and Ivy bounce quickly with Alcove and Prince Caliph Darcher, Munwar in behind them. Noble Dane quickly travelling forward outside its section. Bullwinkle easing back now, followed by the Bandit. Skybow and Donor last of all. Now Noble Dane takes up the running down of the winning post the first time. Noble Dane in front by 2 lengths. He's a bit of a free goer, this fellow, and he's gone to the lead from Prince Caliph and Quick Ransom. Section running fourth, a half. Darcher a length for the back, Alcove, and then came Ivy. Then Munwar followed further back by Bullwinkle. The Bandit back third last, and the last 2 Skybow and Donor to the side. They race now towards the 1850, and the leader Noble Dane for Die out 2.5. Prince Caliph, 1 to Quick Ransom, a half section. 1 then to Darcher running 5th in the middle, 2 to Alcove, a length then to Ivy, 2 to Munwar, a length further back of the race Bullwinkle, followed by the Bandit at the 1600, 2 lengths to Skybow and Donor. Up the back of the track they run now. The leader is Noble Dane, unchallenged by 2.5. Second placing Prince Caliph, a length and a half. Quick Ransom a half for the back section, facing the breeze. On the outside, running fourth, 2 to Darcher, fifth, a half Elko, 6, 1.5 Ivy. The Bandit improved up on the inside of Munwar and Bullwinkle out 3 deep, 2 to Skybow, and a half Donor last of all. They've gone to the 1400 metre mark and going to the top of the hill. Noble Dane by just on a length, 2 Prince Caliph, 2 for the back, Quick Ransom. Ahead the outside section, 2 then to Darcher running fifth. They're followed by Alcove and then Ivy. Further back in the race then came the Bandit just beyond midfield, held up for a run at the moment, a length for the back, Bullwinkle. Then came Munwar from Skybow and last of all Donor. As they come down the side now and go towards the 950 metre mark, Noble Dane about 3/4 to a length for Prince Caliph, 2 to section. Then came Ivy fourth from Quick Ransom and Bullwinkle pulled to the outside around the stablemate Darcher, a length into Donor taking off. The Bandit lost his position. He's got 3 behind him, Munwar, Alcove and Skybow last of all, 600 to go. And the leader is Noble Dane, a neck in front of Prince Caliph, a length into section. Then Bullwinkle to fourth, and here's Donor putting in a run out deep. 2 lengths further back, the Bandit, as they really start to sprint now from Alcove and Darcher. On the bend they race, and Prince Caliph hit the front, tackle by Section. Section races to Prince Caliph. The Bandit into the clear now. Then down the outside, Donor, followed by Skybow at the 200 metre mark, and Alcove on the rail. Across the track, and the Bandit hit the front from Section. Alcove driving hard the rail. The Bandit and Alcove the inside from Skybow. The Bandit in front of Alcove heading down towards the line, and the Bandit ahead to Alcove, 3/4 Skybow third. Then Section further back, Munwar got home late. They're followed by Prince Caliph, Darcher, Bullwinkle. Donor weakened on his run. Then Noble Dane, and near the tail Ivy, tailed off is Quick Ransom.
Number 11, the Bandit, $3 and 150 over 4. Alcove at 210. Third, 8 Skybow, 350.
Gets home.
Number 11, the Bandit, to return $3, the win 150. The place number 4, Alcove, a place dividend of $2.10 and 8 for third. Skybow, place dividend of $2.90.
And across the track with Alcove driving up on the inside, the Bandit then came at them hard. Now, this has been a pretty serious sort of win by the Bandit in the Quick Ease today. He's outstayed Alcove, who went back to the rail, and Skybow, it got left flat-footed when they sprinted at the 650 metre mark, has run into third placing. After the Quick Ease today, it's 11, 4 and 8, 11, 4, 8, Section fourth, and fifth home is number 3. And that's Munwar, who's another one that got going late in the race. But the Bandit too good. Noel Harris, trained by Johnny Wheeler. He quickened at the right time, this horse, and he's got home for punters. Ran a solid favourite in the race, number 11. And confirms the Sydney Cup form of Count Shivers back in the autumn. And has gone home to outstay Alcove, who got the favours by getting up on the fence. And third going to number 8, Skybow. Fourth in number 2 and fifth home number 3. 11, 4 and 8, 11, 4 and 8. After the running of the Quick Ease Stakes today, Roy Higgins will go looking for Johnny Wheeler, I'd say, down there around the yard. I think he's in town, Johnny. Hard man to catch up. Oh, he's here? Yeah, they've got a high rating on this horse. The totes are 3 even and 150. Come down here in a moment, Higgs. 3 even, 150, 210 and 290. 3 even, 150, 210, 290. Quinella 850. Exacta 1420. The double 530. The daily double 2 and 11, 1630. That's our 97 double today. 2 and 11, 1630. Trifecta and Just a Tick, but this horse is bound for the Melbourne Cup. Let's go to Roy.
Thanks, Brian. We've got a very, very happy Mr. John Wheeler with us. John, exceptional win.
Yeah, it was sensational. I didn't think he was going to get past Alcove, but he just got there on the line. It was good. Yeah.
You've been rapping this horse a bit since you've been in town. It's not like you.
Yeah, he's a pretty good horse. He's a pretty good horse. You'd be happy to throw a leg over him, Roy.
I marked him in the yard looking as though there's still a fair bit of improvement still to come.
There is. He's a light-framed horse, but he's still got an ounce of improvement in him. And, yeah, it was a good run for today for the Cup next week. Yeah.
And you put your overall plan for the Spring Carnival?
He'll be in the Caulfield Cup and the Melbourne Cup, yeah.
In both? Is he proven at the 2 miles, 3002?
Not really, but he ran second to Count Shivers. Yeah, so that's the only 2 mile race he's ever run, but I don't have too many doubts about it. Yeah.
Good to see you back in town, John.
Good on you, Roy.
That's Roy Higgins talking with John Wheeler. This is Triple SFM, the Good Sports, as we take a look at race number